Over the years, there are shows that have been accused of copying Ninjago, with similar elements such as team dynamics, elemental powers, color-coded heroes, and so much more. So today, we're gonna go through all these Ninjago clones and see what happened to them, how similar they really are to Ninjago, and where they are today, starting with the most debated one, Nexon Knights, which is a LEGO show that takes place in a future world that mixes old-time knights and castles with super high-tech stuff like holograms, lasers, and digital magic. The story follows 5 young knights named Clay, Lance, Macy, Aaron, and Axel, who just finished school at the Knights Academy. The show first came out in 2015 on Cartoon Network and was made by LEGO to sell toys. Just like Ninjago, the kingdom is called Knighton, and it's a place where you can see both old stone castles and flying vehicles at the same time. Everything goes wrong on graduation day when the kingdom's jester named Jestro gets really embarrassed during a performance. He's so upset that he runs away and finds a mysterious talking book called the Book of Monsters. This evil book convinces Jestro that he can get revenge by using dark magic. At the same time, the kingdom's wizard named Murloc gets caught in a magical explosion. Instead of dying, Murloc's spirit gets sucked into the computer system and turns into a digital version of himself called Murloc 2.0. Jestro uses the Book of Monsters to create an army of evil lava monsters, and he starts attacking towns across the kingdom. The 5 knights have to learn how to work together as a team to stop him. Clay is super serious and follows all the rules. Lance is popular and cares about how he looks. Macy just wants to prove she can be a real knight, even though she's a princess. Aaron loves extreme sports. Axel is really strong, but mostly thinks about food. They get help from Murloc 2.0, who figured out how to turn his old magic spells into computer programs called Nexo powers that he can download directly into their shields during battle. Just like how the ninja and Ninjago get new powers and abilities to help them fight. But the similarities don't stop there. Both shows have a team of 5 color-coded heroes who each have different personalities. Clay is basically Kai. He's the serious red leader. Lance is like Jay because he's all about showing off. Axel is the big strong guy who loves food, just like Cole. And Macy has to prove herself, like Lloyd did. The biggest similarity is the wise old mentor. Ninjago has Sensei Wu, while Nexo Knights has Murloc 2.0. Even the villains are similar. Jestro gets corrupted by the Book of Monsters, just like how Ninjago villains get corrupted by dark powers. The show ran for 4 seasons, from 2015 to 2017. However, LEGO decided to cancel Nexo Knights after season 4. The company stopped making the toys in 2018, and when the toys stopped, the show had to end. Creators had planned a 5th season, but it never got made because LEGO wanted to focus on other themes instead. Many fans were disappointed with how the show ended, with questions unanswered. Some people think Nexo Knights got canceled because it never became as popular as Ninjago, which was still going strong. LEGO was hoping Nexo Knights would be the next Ninjago, but it just couldn't reach those same heights. But Nexo Knights wasn't the only show that tried to copy Ninjago. Legends of Chima is a LEGO show about a magical floating world where all animals walk, talk, and act like people instead of regular animals. This place is called Chima, and it's filled with different tribes of animal warriors. There are lions, crocodiles, eagles, ravens, gorillas, wolves, and many other types of animals all living together. Long ago, all these creatures were just normal animals who couldn't talk or think like humans. But then something amazing happened. A mysterious blue energy called Chi fell from the sky and changed everything. The Chi made the animals evolve and become smart. The main story begins when 2 best friends have a terrible accident that changes everything. Laval is the prince of the lion tribe, and his best friend is Kragger, the prince of the crocodile tribe. Even though the tribes are different, Laval and Kragger grew up together and were like brothers. One day, they're playing near a dangerous area when Kragger's parents fall into a deep underground hole and disappear. Everyone thinks they're dead and gone forever. Kragger is heartbroken and confused, and in his sadness and anger, he starts to blame Laval for what happened, even though it really wasn't anyone's fault.
Kragger? Have you forgotten your precious rules, Lions? Only the rider who leaves no opponent standing can claim the golden Chi.
To make everything worse, Kragger's older sister Crueler uses special flowers that can control minds to make Kragger think that the lion tribe is their enemy. Kragger, now under his sister's appearance and filled with anger, starts stealing Chi from the sacred pool, which breaks the ancient balance that kept Chima peaceful.
Get away from my Chi! No!
Cracker leads the crocodile tribe into the war against the lions and their friends, and the peaceful world of Chima is torn apart by fighting. All the different animal tribes have to pick sides, but the war between the tribes turns out to be just the beginning of Chima's problems. Later in the show, an even bigger threat appears. Ancient evil tribes that were frozen by ice, the scorpions, spiders, and bats, wake up and crawl out of the underground caves. They want to steal all the chi for themselves. Then, in the final season, ice tribes from the frozen north, like the saber-toothed tigers, wake up and try to freeze all of Chima forever. The heroes realize they need to stop fighting each other and work together, just like how the ninja and Ninjago have put aside their differences to fight bigger enemies. At first glance, nothing about this show really screams being a copy of Ninjago, but when you look closer, the similarities start showing up. Both shows focus on collecting special energy sources. Ninjago has things like the golden weapons and elemental powers, while Chima has chi that gives the animals their strength. Both shows also have teams of heroes who are color-coded and represent different animal spirits or elements. The biggest similarity is how both shows deal with the ancient evil forces that were locked away and came back to threaten everything. The show had 3 complete seasons that told the full story of Chima from beginning to end, finishing in November 2014. In the final episodes, the heroes collect magical artifacts that create the Great Illumination, which is a large explosion of light that defeats the ice tribes. Peace returns to Chima, and all the tribes learn to share the chi fairly. The very last scene reveals a huge secret. Chima is actually a giant floating island connecting to the world of Ninjago, making Chima one of the 16 realms in LEGO's connected universe. Even though the show ended completely and told its full story, many fans still wish it could come back because they loved the creative animal characters. And while some people think that this is just Animal Ninjago, I don't really think it's all that similar. But they definitely took inspiration from Ninjago for sure. However, the next show accused of copying Ninjago is Tenkai Knights. Tenkai Knights is a show that was made in 2013 through teamwork between Japan and Canada. It's about 4 regular kids who live normal lives on Earth in the year 2034. Their names are Garin Nash, Silent Jones, Chuki Mason, and Toxa Dalton, and they're all best friends who go to the same school. The show was created by a Canadian toy company called Spin Master to sell their new toys called Ionics. One day, the 4 kids are hanging out together after school when they discover something incredible, a mysterious hidden portal behind a hobby shop in their town. Being curious kids, they decide to investigate and accidentally fall through the portal, getting sucked into another dimension.
What's that mean? What's happening?
When they come out on the other side, they find themselves on a strange cube-shaped planet called Quarton. This world is totally different from Earth because the people living there aren't humans. They're living alien robots made out of bricks who can change their shape. On Quarton, the 4 boys make an amazing discovery. They have the power to transform into legendary warrior heroes called the Tenkai Knights.
What? Whoa! What's happening? This is totally awesome!
Garin becomes Bravenwolf, who wears red armor. Salem becomes Tributon, a blue knight. Chuki becomes Leidendor, the green knight. Toxa becomes Valorn, the yellow knight. Thousands of years ago, Quarton was torn apart by a massive war between good robots called the Korkai and evil robots called the Corrupted. The Corrupted are led by a powerful villain named Vilius. In the ancient war, the original Tenkai Knights defeated Vilius and saved Quarton, but then they mysteriously disappeared. Now Vilius has returned and he's even more powerful. The 4 human boys have learned how to use their new knight powers and work together as a team to stop Vilius from taking over Quarton. But Vilius isn't just satisfied with controlling Quarton. He also wants to invade Earth. The boys have to travel back and forth between Earth and Quarton through the portal, trying to balance their normal school lives and their secret identities as the Tenkai Knights, just like how the ninja and Ninjago had to balance being teenagers with being heroes. But even the characters themselves weren't unique. Garin is the red leader who's brave and rushes into danger, basically Kai. Silent is the blue one who makes jokes and doesn't take things seriously, like Jay. Chuki is the green calm one who thinks things through, similar to Lloyd. Toxa is the yellow smart one, kinda like Zane. The main difference from Ninjago is that instead of using spit jutsu to fight, the kids transform into armored knights and use special brick powers. The show only lasted for 1 season with 52 episodes, and the final episode aired in 2014. Fans were really excited because the creators announced they were working on a 2nd season. However, the 2nd season never got made. After waiting for over a year, Spin Master finally announced that Tenkai Knights was canceled. The main reason for the cancellation was that Spin Master decided to bring back another one of their old toy lines called Bakugan instead. The Ionics toys didn't sell well as Spin Master hoped, and without good toy sales, there was no reason to keep making the show. Many fans were extremely disappointed because they wanted to know what happened next in the story, but those mysteries were never solved. But that's all the shows that have been accused of copying Ninjago that I could find. And if you want even more Ninjago content, click the video on screen right now.